The year 2020 will forever be etched in our collective memory. The emergence of the novel coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2, plunged the world into a pandemic unlike anything seen in generations. Fear and uncertainty gripped communities as the virus spread with alarming speed. However, amidst the darkness, a beacon of hope emerged: vaccines. The scientific community, propelled by unprecedented collaboration and urgency, achieved a remarkable feat: the development of safe and effective vaccines against COVID-19 in record time. These vaccines, rolled out globally in late 2020 and early 2021, marked a turning point in our battle against the virus. Noted that the average time to develop and bring a vaccine to market, from initial research to regulatory approval, typically ranges from 10 to 15 years. The impact of these vaccines has been profound, saving countless lives and preventing severe illness in millions more. This video delves into the science behind these groundbreaking vaccines, exploring their efficacy, safety, and global reach. The development of COVID-19 vaccines saw the emergence of four main types, each employing a distinct approach to trigger an immune response: mRNA vaccines, viral vector vaccines, inactivated virus vaccines, and protein subunit vaccines. First, mRNA vaccines, pioneered by Pfizer-BioNTech and Moderna, represent a revolutionary approach to vaccination. These vaccines deliver a snippet of the virus's genetic code, mRNA, encapsulated in tiny lipid nanoparticles. Once inside our cells, this mRNA instructs our own cellular machinery to produce a harmless piece of the spike protein, the very key the virus uses to enter our cells. This, in turn, triggers an immune response, training our bodies to recognize and fight off the actual virus if ever encountered. Second, viral vector vaccines, such as those developed by AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson, utilize a harmless modified virus, like a common cold virus, as a vehicle to deliver the genetic instructions for the spike protein. This vector virus cannot replicate in our bodies but effectively delivers the genetic blueprint, prompting our cells to produce the spike protein and elicit an immune response. Third, inactivated virus vaccines, a more traditional approach, utilize a killed version of the entire virus. Examples include vaccines from Sinovac and Sinopharm. While unable to cause infection, the inactivated virus still presents the body with the full complement of viral proteins, triggering a broad immune response. Finally, protein subunit vaccines, such as Novavax, deliver purified fragments of the spike protein, rather than the entire virus or genetic material. These fragments, often combined with adjuvants to boost the immune response, effectively mimic the virus, training the immune system to recognize and neutralize the real threat. The true measure of any vaccine lies in its real-world effectiveness. COVID-19 vaccines have demonstrably exceeded expectations, showcasing remarkable efficacy in preventing severe illness, hospitalization, and death. Clinical trials revealed impressive results, with mRNA vaccines boasting efficacy rates exceeding 90%, meaning they reduce the risk of symptomatic COVID-19 infection by over 90% compared to unvaccinated individuals. Viral vector vaccines, while showing slightly lower efficacy rates ranging from 70 to 90%, still provided robust protection against severe outcomes. Similarly, inactivated virus vaccines demonstrated efficacy rates between 50 and 84%. Protein subunit vaccines, such as Novavax, also exhibited strong efficacy, exceeding 90% in preventing moderate to severe disease. The impact of these vaccines extends far beyond individual protection. Widespread vaccination has demonstrably slowed the spread of the virus, reducing transmission rates and alleviating the burden on healthcare systems. For example, one study in 2022 found that fully vaccinated individuals were approximately 50 to 60% less likely to transmit the Delta variant to household contacts compared to unvaccinated individuals. This collective immunity, achieved through vaccination, is crucial in protecting vulnerable populations, including the elderly, immunocompromised individuals, and those with underlying health conditions. The data unequivocally demonstrates that COVID-19 vaccines are highly effective in preventing severe illness and death, even against emerging variants. Like any medication or medical intervention, vaccines can cause side effects, most of which are mild and temporary. Understanding these potential side effects is essential in managing expectations and alleviating anxieties surrounding vaccination. It's important to remember that experiencing side effects is not indicative of illness, but rather a sign that the vaccine is working, triggering the desired immune response. For mRNA vaccines, common side effects, such as injection site pain, fatigue, and headaches, impact 60 to 80% of recipients, roughly 1.8 to 2.4 billion individuals. For viral vector vaccines, similar common side effects affect around 1 to 1.4 billion people. For protein subunit vaccines, similar common side effects affect 0.25 to 0.35 billion people. For inactivated virus vaccines, side effects, primarily pain and fever, impact approximately 0.6 to 0.9 billion individuals. These reactions typically resolve within a few days and can be managed with over-the-counter pain relievers or rest. While severe reactions to COVID-19 vaccines are extremely rare, it's important to acknowledge and address these instances transparently. Transparency builds trust and allows individuals to make informed decisions about their health. For mRNA vaccines, uncommon side effects include myocarditis, an inflammation of the heart muscle, approximately 10,500 cases, mainly in young males, and allergic reactions, approximately 6,000 to 15,000 cases. For viral vector vaccines, rare side effects include blood clotting disorder, thrombosis with thrombocytopenia syndrome, or TTS, approximately 2,000 to 4,000 cases with AstraZeneca, and Guillain-Barré syndrome, a neurological disorder causing muscle weakness and sometimes paralysis, approximately 1,000 cases with Johnson & Johnson. Furthermore, these rare side effects are treatable, and most individuals who experience them recover fully. Some global voices reject COVID-19 vaccination, highlighting safety concerns. In 2023, Switzerland suspended spring and summer COVID-19 vaccine recommendations, including for high-risk groups. In October 2024, Peter Kotlar, Slovak government investigator, released a report advocating for a ban on COVID-19 vaccinations. On April 23, 2025, Prime Minister of Slovakia, Robert Fico, halted the purchase of about 300,000 vaccine doses, awaiting a safety evaluation by the Slovak Academy of Sciences. On May 14, 2025, British cardiologist Asim Malhotra, appointed Chief Medical Advisor for Make America Healthy Again, urged pausing mRNA vaccines, citing a vaccine injury epidemic with hundreds of thousands of alleged cases. In 2025, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced plans to review the childhood vaccine schedule, raise doubts about the need for COVID-19 vaccines, and enlisted vaccine skeptics to assess vaccine safety. As of 2025, billions of COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered worldwide, reaching a significant proportion of the global population. However, disparities in vaccine distribution persist, with high-income countries generally having higher vaccination rates compared to low-income countries. 3 billion people vaccinated mRNA vaccines, covering 37.5% of the global population. 80% in high-income nations, for example, US and EU, 15% in upper-middle-income countries, for example, Brazil and China, and only 5% in low-income countries, for example, Nigeria and Bangladesh. 2 billion people vaccinated viral vector vaccines, representing 25% of the global population. 50% in upper-middle-income countries, for example, India and Brazil, 30% in high-income countries, for example, UK and Australia, and 20% in low-income countries, for example, Nigeria and Ethiopia. For inactivated virus vaccines, 1.5 billion vaccinated, representing 18.75% of the global population. 80% in Asian countries such as China and Indonesia. For protein subunit vaccines, 500 million vaccinated, accounting for 6.25% of the global population. 60% in high-income nations, for example, US and EU, 30% in upper-middle-income countries, for example, Brazil and Mexico, and 10% in low-income countries, for example, Indonesia and Bangladesh. As the virus continues to evolve, so too must our strategies for combating it. Ongoing research and development are crucial in optimizing existing vaccines, developing next-generation vaccines, and preparing for future variants or even pandemics. Scientists are actively investigating variant-specific vaccines, tailored to target emerging strains like Omicron and its subvariants. Additionally, research into new vaccine delivery methods, such as nasal sprays or patches, could enhance convenience and accessibility. The development of pan-coronavirus vaccines, capable of providing broad protection against multiple coronaviruses, holds immense promise for future pandemic preparedness. Long-term monitoring of vaccine efficacy, duration of protection, and safety remains crucial in guiding booster dose strategies and ensuring long-lasting immunity. All data in this video is sourced from the relevant literature listed below. Thank you for watching, and we hope you found this informative.